Every time I look online, I don't care if it's TikTok, Instagram, etc., somebody's son is on a podcast talking about how today's women don't want a good man. And then they always go to the exact same, it's almost like a rinse and repeat. They just want to have uh the bad guys in their prime, and then they want to grow up and lose a step, and then all of a sudden want to settle down with a good man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's actually a lot of reasons why even good women will pass up on good men. And I know both men and women gonna disagree with me on this, but hear me out. Because some of y'all gonna be like, well, I'm a good woman and I'll never pass up on a good man. If I come across a good man, I know I'm gonna lock it down. Not so fast. And matter of fact, I should say why good women will pass up on good men. Let me say this. Let me see. Caused by the narc in your life. Oh, y'all coming in hot. If you've ever been with a guy and your spirit, your energy just rejected him, it didn't matter whether or not he was good because y'all weren't good for each other. And I'm here to tell you, even as a good woman, you have no obligation to settle down with any particular man because of how he's showing up on paper. You have no, we always make it like, as a good woman, if you dare exercise your right to choose what it is you want at the time that you want it and at the standard that you want it to be, that if you exercise that, that means you're doing something wrong. You're going to be single the rest of your life because you didn't just settle down with the first good man that come your way. I don't know how many of y'all have seen that, but I've seen it over and over again where if a woman comes across a man who's good, he's a good man, Savannah, and she just says, not right now. Not quite for me. She's chastised. She's insulted. It's like something's wrong with her. Or if you're a good woman and you're in your older age, it's like, well, you must have passed up on all the good men that came your way before. Maybe she did. And there are valid reasons for a woman to pass up on a man, even though he's quote unquote good based on society standards. But let me give y'all this, because one of my self-crowned VIP members, actually, she has started off just watching the master classes. Watch me here, didn't watch the master classes, right? But we do our weekly live chats and stuff. So she had asked the question, like, how can she recognize a good man? Because she feels like in hindsight, she's passed up on several that were good men. And I think in hindsight, sometimes we can look at things through rose-colored lenses and feel like it would have been so much better than what it really would have been. But the truth is, a lot of times you passed upon those good men, again, for good reason. I'm going to start with some superficial reasons, but there's 5, maybe 6. We'll just kind of go. But the first reason why, as a good woman, you probably passed upon a good man, and I need my good men to hear that, is because the values may be set up based on the environment you grew up in. The values may be set up not because you just want to be a hoochie mama, not because you want to get ran through, not because you just want to party. They always talk about that in the podcast. But I don't think we acknowledge enough that if you came out of a childhood or a household where there was a lot of chaos or there was a lot of invalidation and a lot of criticism, then you may deal with a guy strictly based on what feels like it's the opposite of that. He come talking good. Now you want to latch on to that. You want to get closer to that. You want to open yourself up to that. Your value system basically making you a product of your environment instead of a product of your experiences, which means just like everybody else, you have not yet grown up into the version of yourself that can see things for what they are. You're simply responding based on the information that you know. So no, it's not that as a good woman, you passed up on all the good men because you just wanted to smoke weed and do whatever. No. I actually met one girl one time and she had a hard time dating guys that didn't have their money set up. And it wasn't because she was a gold digger, but because she saw her mother struggle. She saw her mother go through it. So now all of the guys that she dealt with were almost like a reaction to what she knew. That was what had formed her up until that point. And again, they get chastised and insulted. And it's like, no, it's not that she's not a good woman or she's just a gold digger. You don't know what that woman has been through, especially if she's in her younger years. So that may be a good woman who just needs to wait a little while. That may be a good woman who's just inexperienced. Which brings me to the second one. A lot of times a good woman will pass up on a good man because she is naive. And again, this tends to be the women that are dating at a younger age. I would say 30 and younger. They tend to be naive. Now, why do I say that? Because most good men, I'm talking about real good ones, live their truth, right? But a lot of men who just want to play the game and maneuver a certain way that's manipulative and malicious, they're going to talk a good game. And so if she's naive, she doesn't necessarily have the experiences to draw from and say, hey, look, I know what I need to see. Nowadays we got people like me, there's some others out there that's giving the game in advance. So as a woman, you can learn the easy way, not the hard way. But for many years as a woman, you had to learn the hard way, especially if mama didn't have a good man, especially if you didn't see a good man coming up, or the good men that you may have saw, they didn't have a close connection with you to kind of give you the game like a big brother would do. You know what I'm saying? So naivete. Again, not because she wants to run the streets, not because she don't know a good man whenever she sees one. A lot of times she's going off of what she does know best, but it sounds good. And she doesn't know necessarily to wait out the patterns and all of these different things. Gaslighting is a thing and manipulation is a thing. Now, let's get into some of the real reasons, because I just had to get those out the way. I feel like a lot of times women are unfairly persecuted for choosing wrong, when if you look at any man, myself included, it ain't like we chose the best. And I'm not making any I'm not saying anything for any of my exes. I'm talking about from the women I just entertained to the women I may have physically engaged with. It ain't like men out here just picking up on all the good girls from day one and locking it down. So let's really get into it. One real reason why a good woman would pass up on a good man is because she's choosing compatibility over perceived character. And this kind of goes back to what I said. For those of y'all who are just joining in, there are a lot of times when, as a woman, you exercise your right of choice for what's right for you, for what you prefer, and they try to make it seem like you're such a bad person. But men do this all the time. Men are not lining up. Let's keep it all the way real. Men are not lining up around the corner for women with a flat ass. Let's keep it all the way real. Excuse my language. Men are not just in droves going for the girl that's, doesn't have any curves, it isn't in the best shape, by conventional standards, isn't the most attractive. Men are not lining up in droves for that woman. The woman that's hot, like very obese. Come on now. So as a woman, you have a right to choose. And I'm not even saying that, superficial standards are bad or good. Whatever you like is whatever you like. But I've seen good women pass upon good men because they're choosing compatibility. It's more of a, you're not right for me. You may be a good man, but you're not right for me. Doesn't mean that she's bad. Doesn't mean she doesn't know what she wants. Doesn't mean she's going to die alone. It simply means she understands two good things that are not really right for each other are not going to be good together. Just because it's good on paper doesn't mean she's obliged to choose that as a reflection of her ability to choose and how much she really wants to be in a relationship. Am I making sense to anybody? Am I making sense? Y'all let me know. Another real reason why a good woman would pass upon a quote unquote good man is because a lot of good men come with entitlement. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but a lot of good men, and this is kind of similar to why we even having this conversation to begin with, act like just because they perceive themselves as good, because they went and got a suit from Men's Warehouse, because they ain't got no felonies, because they was able to graduate college or get them a decent job, or they ain't got tattooed teardrops on their faces, that they're a good man, and therefore they should have their pick of the litter. It's like, no, she still has to like you. You still have to be likable. You still have to be kind, not just a good man. You still have to be kind. And even with all those things, that still doesn't mean she has to choose you. I've noticed more entitlement with the good guys than I have with the guys that we consider to be bad boys. The rude dudes, the guys with no manners, guys calling women out their name. I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just going to keep it real with you from the outside looking in as your big brother. I see men who are good take that rejection to heart so bad. When a woman don't want them, see, here we go again. Women don't want a good man like me. I'm a Russell Wilson. Boy, you are not a Russell Wilson. Boy, if you don't stop. Everybody want to act like they Russell, man. Look, Russell Wilson. No, you're not a Russell Wilson. Let's stop it right there. They don't want no Russell Wilson in real life. You're not a Russell Wilson in real life at all. But let's get off of that. The nice guys feel entitled because they're nice or they're good. In their mind, yeah, your mama told you good. That don't mean that you're really good, though. Like, are you may be good. Let's say you're good. What is good anyway, right? It's subjective. But let's say you're good. Like, you're insufferable too. You ain't got nothing to talk about. You don't know how to further a conversation. You're not protective. You're not funny. You're not truly curious on what she's got going on. You think because you're so good, she's supposed to worship the ground that you walk on. Like, what's really good about you outside of you and your mama saying that you're good? And yeah, you might got you $10,000 saved up in the bank. Okay, that's cute. So, because you got this money, but then on top of that, you're not even generous. Don't get me started. Another reason why, another real reason why good women will pass up on good men. And like I said, I already know it's going to be men and women that don't agree with this, feel like I'm tripping, but I'm just going to keep it real with you because I keep seeing on every podcast people attacking women who don't choose what everybody else say they should choose. And the attack can come from y'all are bad people to that's why you still single. That's all meant to be an attack. Anyway, it's because a lot of quote unquote good guys are covert assholes. I know I'm not trying to use this strong language. Well, I came a long way because one thing I used to do, boy, I used to tear it up with my language. Now it feel weird, but sometimes I got to use the emphasis, okay? But the covert assholes, they're not necessarily. They could be considered narcissists. I just don't like to throw that word around so whimsically because I know it's popular. But damn, forget a narcissist, asshole. Like you think everybody's beneath you. You think you better than people. You're judgmental. You're snobby with the waiter, the waitress. You talk down and look down at the janitor, at the service worker. And a woman can pick up on that. If she's truly a good woman, her energy can pick up on how you're so snobby and feel like you're higher, better than the next person, holier than thou. Don't care if you go to church every Sunday when your heart filled of pride and ego and hate. It don't make you a good man either. Just because these things have not expressed themselves in ways that have drawn repercussions and consequences from the law. Y'all tell me if I'm speaking facts or speaking fiction. Y'all tell me if I'm speaking facts or am I speaking fiction? If I'm making sense. So a lot of guys, they walk around and on the outside, they are good guy. On the outside, they put themselves together. Okay, cool. You live in a little condo, got your little house. I just closed on my house and I got my BMW leased and I'm a good man. I ain't got no baby mamas, brother. Yo, if I hear somebody else, and trigger warning, but if I hear somebody else bragging about how they ain't got no babies, no baby mamas, and they done been up to that abortion clinic so many times they could have a monthly subscription. Because y'all gonna really want me to start talking real about these dudes that's out here talking about, I ain't got baby mamas. But as soon as that girl got pregnant, you was doing all this gaslighting to get her to, come on now. Women do it too. Come on now. So you over here, looking down on people, talking down on people, man, that's not attractive. Damn, if you good. No woman is truly attracted to that. It's repulsive. That's not a genuine, kind, sincere, spirited man. When you want to talk about you so good and you only talking about your criminal record and maybe your credit score, maybe. They ain't want us. No, you just ain't got over that rejection from when you didn't even have the confidence to step to any woman. Meanwhile, the bad boys did. And so now that you're older, you have resentment against all women and you take it out on them in the form of policing their character based on how you didn't get chose. I ain't got no felonies neither. I didn't have a problem. Good guy. All good guys ain't getting passed up. But I'm going to tell you why good women might pass you up, even though you're a quote unquote good man. Another reason why you have a lot of good women who will pass up on a good man is because that quote unquote good man doesn't really respect himself. He doesn't really respect himself. You see, a woman can get around you and your homeboys, and she can see how you've been respecting yourself based on how they respect you. A woman can come to your home and she can see how much you respect yourself by how you keep your place. You got a dirty car, dirty house, your homeboys talk all over you. Nobody really takes you seriously. You won't stand up for yourself when your mama get to snapping at you. If you're not respected by those who know you best, how that woman gonna feel like you respect yourself enough for her to respect you too? Oh, because you good. No, you soft. You're not good. You just been out the way so much you haven't gotten in trouble. Let's keep it all the way real. You've been out the way so much that you don't get in trouble, but you're not out the way because you're really staying out the way. You out the way because you don't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no problems yourself. I mean, that is kind of like what conventional wisdom would say about a quote unquote good man, that good men finish last, good guys finish last. But it's true, and I've seen it over and over again. One of the innate needs of a woman is to know that she is protected by her man. How you gonna go out here and face the world on her behalf and y'all's children's behalf, but you can't face nobody on behalf of yourself up until the point where she come around? You don't respect your space. You don't respect your time. People run all over you. Nobody respects you around where you at. Come on, man. You have not built up anything of value. You playing NBA 2K and Call of Duty every single day. You're not really after nothing, but you're a good guy. No, you're not. No, you're not. Again, you're harmless, maybe. You're just out the way. Another reason why a good woman would pass up on a good man is because he's uncertain and unsure about his life, about himself. And no good woman can thrive in uncertainty. So she may see that, again, you've done some decent things in your life. You're not shooting up schools and clubs and things like that. You ain't gun toting and rapping about how your teacher told you wasn't gonna be nothing when you grew up. Okay, cool. All right, nice. Gold star. Here's a cookie. But at the same time, you have no certainty about yourself. You have no confidence. You have no masculine core that you're rooted in. And it's very difficult for any woman to thrive in that environment that's going to be set. The tone is going to be set by you as an uncertain man. You don't know what you want to do. You're not sure about what you want to do. You need her to make all the decisions. Brother, she's not rocking with you. I don't care how good you are. In your mind, by the way. It don't matter how good you are in your mind. Because truth is, she needs more than you just being good. She needs, if she's a good woman, if she's a feminine woman, let me be very clear. If she's a feminine woman, she's probably going to want some assertiveness, some leadership. And it's not that good women are just automatically flocking to the bad guys, by the way. But a good woman will take her chance with a quote unquote bad guy who straight up what he is, what you see is what you get. He's certain about what he is and what he's going to be on and what he's going to do. At minimum, her innate natural needs can be met. If I at least feel somewhat protected, this man is in the vicinity. If something go down, I'm in an emergency. If I ask him a question, there ain't this, that, and the other. At least what you see is what you get, as opposed to the man not even knowing what the hell he on. But I'm a good man. If y'all don't get up off of that good stuff, bro, you're not going to have good results. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to get exactly what you want. Because, again, you think your goodness puts you in this tier of attractiveness and the desirability and deserving of a woman when that's not it at all. Honestly, that's the bare minimum. That's the starting point. It's crazy how we in a day and age where we think a man's goodness is some type of trophy. I know I'm stepping on toes. Am I making sense to anybody? Another reason. Matter of fact, this is a big one. A lot of good women will reject good men. Their energy can sense that he's doing, not being. A lot of good women can sense that the man who's good, he's doing good, but he's not being. It's not coming from him. It's not coming from his essence. It's not coming from what he's truly cultivated at his core. It's coming from things he's checking off of a to-do list. Box by box. He's, let me do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the flowers. Or maybe I'm going to open the door. I might open the door. I'm going to say, good morning, beautiful. But it's doing. All of these things is just doing and not truly being. Now, how does one know the difference? First off, women are intuitive. Intuition, especially if she's healed and she's done the work on herself, she's like the intuition is not going to mislead her. She's not going to be mistaken on that. Jealous says, grow me flowers. So if you are doing and not being, you're always going to feel like there are strings attached. Ladies, y'all put I down in the chat. If you ever had a guy do something for you and he felt like you owed him something and it got so bad to the point you ain't even want him doing anything for you anymore, even if it was good. Put I down in the chat. I don't care if he gave you money. I don't care if he changed the light bulb. I don't care if he took you on a nice date, did something romantic, got you flowers. He always felt like he was supposed to get something from you in exchange for what he did. Put I down in the chat if it ever got to that point where you say, I don't even want you to do nothing for me. Because in return, you're gonna want something, and then I'm not with it. Put I down in the chat. Let me see if I'm talking to anybody. Put I down in the chat. Stephanie says I. Anna Marie, I. Okay. I know I'm not talking to myself. So when it's coming from a place of doing and not being, you see, if a man is just, let's say, okay, I like to work out, right? Nobody has to pat me on the back. I don't need to get nothing in exchange because I work out. That's just what I do. That's just what I do. I love spending time with my children. My children's mom ain't got to do nothing for me because I want to spend time with my children. That's just what I do. I go to their lunch. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's making me do that. They ain't court ordered or nothing. No, I go to their lunch. I show up for anything they got going on after school. I show up to after school activities. I'm calling them. Like, that's what I don't need nobody to give me no pat on the back for something like that. I don't need nothing in exchange. If we out on a date, like, I'm gonna open the door, I'm gonna do my, but that's just, it's being. And I'm not on no pedestal, by the way. I'm not on no pedestal. I've been on the side of thinking that, oh, if I do these things, I'm gonna get it. I've been there before. That's what I'm understanding. You see, as men, a lot of times nobody tells us how to grow from the inside out. We're so functional. Like, even when we're not okay as men, like even when we're wounded and we need healing, we're taught to just, like, our value is in what we produce and what we execute and our industrialism. And there's something to that, but it goes so much deeper whenever you're really an alpha male, when you really are evolving to the highest version of yourself. That's got to come from your core. That can no longer, because honestly, man, I'm gonna talk to y'all as men. Brothers listening to this, and some of y'all gonna be listening. You don't want to make yourself known. You just want to come in my inbox later on. That's fine. That's fine. But the world is not going to reward you for every little thing that you do. In fact, for you to go to the highest level of yourself, you're going to have a great deal of things that you do that the world is not going to reward you for. And guess what? It's supposed to be like that. Because at a certain point, you're supposed to evolve to the version of you that doesn't just do these things, but you are this person that does these things. Because you are, these things are a reflection. Not these things are, and you feel like you're a reflection of being good. When you open the door, when you pull out a chair, when you pay for the dinner, when you do this, when you do that, flowers, that's got to be in you, not on you. And so when a good woman realizes this is something he's doing, but this ain't really him, she can't even trust it. She can't feel confident in it. She don't feel like, oh, I know who I'm dealing with. I know I can rest in this. She feels like in everything that you do for her, it comes with a debt. And everything that you do, and everything that you do for her, it feels like a debt. Like, okay, now that he's done this for me, I got to be ready to do some things I'm not comfortable with. It feels like a deal with the devil. Like she's selling her soul just to receive this nice gift of yours. You bought her something and everything else, okay. But you only doing that because you feel like you can't stand on the merit of your actual value in her life. You're not doing this because you truly value her and this is how you feel and this is how you love and the gift giving, you just been attentive. No, you feel like you can't stand on the value of who you are and the value you brought into her life. So therefore, let me do this, put strings on it, and therefore I can guilt trip her into giving me what I want. Keep it all the way real. Keep it all the way real. And this is why I always stress the importance of a woman being able to discern between good guys and alpha males, at least an evolved man, because you have the evolved man who's gotten over a lot of these things, but then you have the alpha male, and especially for women who ever have had a space where they chose the bad guy. I'm gonna tell you something, that didn't mean you was a bad woman. For any woman watching this, you had a season of your life where you went after the guy that was rough and tough and all these different things. That don't mean that you was a bad woman. There was a feminine part of you, a very soft feminine part of you that was innately attracted to that. That's all it was. It was underdeveloped. It was raw. It was young. It was naive. So it went after something that was equally underdeveloped. You went after that warrior spirit. You went after that certainty of self. You went after that masculine edge. Nothing is wrong with that. You literally were designed like that, especially as a feminine woman. But now that you have grown and evolved, you have to be able to see that kind of rough and tough spirit, that warrior spirit that's now been refined, not necessarily domesticated, but been coupled with intentionality. And only an alpha male can represent that. You see, a lot of times when we talk about an alpha male, we're talking about the guy who's not just a bad guy. He gonna want a lot of women. No. That's the dude who's still coping with wounds. He refuses to heal. That dude is still escaping the ugly parts of himself, and he's doing so in the vagina of a lot of women. No, that's not an alpha male at all. That's not a high value. No, he's not. At least he's not highly valuable, even if he's highly desired. Hold it for conversation. Again, I broke this down, though, in the free masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. If you want to get more on that conversation as a woman, if there's ever been a feminine version of you, a soft version of you that looked at and got excited by some of the guys that weren't necessarily great, but they had that masculine edge, you're going to want to watch this, because there's an adult, refined, evolved version of that man that you still belong with. You just have to be able to discern who's actually gotten over that hump and who hasn't. You see, a lot of y'all can't deal with a man who's good. You already know. You didn't feel the desire, you didn't feel the attraction, you didn't feel the sparks, you didn't feel the polarity that you needed. Again, polarity is basically there's got to be a yin and a yang to every relationship, even if it's a homosexual relationship. There's got to be opposites. A lot of times with a good man who's any of the things that I just described, there's no polarity. So you feel like you have to be the man in the relationship. And so now you feel like you only can be single because you're too frustrated to date, or you're just going to be underwhelmed. And you're not really ready to be either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be single. You'd rather be single, but that's not really what you want. You want somebody. You just want somebody that you actually want in a relationship. Some of y'all, that ain't going to make sense. But for those of y'all who do, again, you are in position now for an alpha male. You just have to be able to discern those who are alpha versus those who still have that broken masculine energy and they're still beta, touting as alphas. There are red flags that show you who's who. Or should I say a green flag that will show you if he's truly an alpha. And again, that link, if you don't see it yet, make sure, should be there at the comment. Somebody should put it. Let's see. Jealous said you've been single since 2012. You would know. I mean, if that's what you want, cool. But a lot of women remain single for extended periods of time because you don't have the confidence in how to truly choose the man and attract the man that deserves you and that you actually want. Not the one you got to force yourself to be with because, you know, you got to be responsible and you want to have kids and the clock is ticking and you want somebody that doesn't embarrass you. No, you can have exactly what you want. Alpha males do exist. True alpha males. You don't have to go choose some soft, covert, a-hole, narc, good guy. You can have the guy that excites you, that knows how to bring out the softness in you, that will protect you, is not nobody's punk, but he's also not out here trying to prove it with false bravado. You just have to know what an alpha male looks like, how he talks, what space he's in life, what questions to ask in order to weed out those who are not that. And I gave that away for free. It's like I said, it's the link right here. If you see it pinned, I don't know if you see it at the top, depending on if you're watching on YouTube, might be in the channel description. If you're watching a replay, it'll be in the description of the caption or whatever. But moral of the story is this. Yes, good women do reject quote unquote good men. And that's exactly what should happen. If that good man ain't right for her, she has every right to say, I'm good. And honestly, it's a win-win for both. As a quote unquote good man, why would you want a woman to choose you that you honestly just don't do it for? If you don't do it for her, if you don't light her fire, if you don't excite her, if you're not her vision, why would you want her? As a truly good man, you should be good within yourself and okay enough by yourself that if a woman doesn't choose you, you don't personalize it and then get up here on Beyonce's internet, on somebody's podcast, talking crazy about today's women don't know a good man when they see one. Yeah, they do. They're just going to walk right past you if you ain't got no respect for yourself or if you're just not attractive to them based on where they're at in life. Some of y'all, you're unattractive and it's not even the physical. but your whole spirit is unattractive. Your whole spirit is repulsive. Your spirit is ugly. Your energy is ugly. Your integrity is ugly. It's actually non-existent. Good guy. But those are just my thoughts. I mean, internet brother trying to look out for y'all per usual. And if anything I said you feel like was true, all I ask is that you be a bearer of the truth. Be a facilitator of the truth by hitting that share button somewhere down. Wherever you see the little arrow, click that. Good karma comes your way whenever you send good stuff to other people. You never know who needed to hear this message the way that you did just now. Also, if you want access to the free masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only, y'all should see if you're on Facebook. The link will be right here. I don't know where on YouTube where it's going to be. It might be down here. Just look for the fire emojis or new Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males and get access to that masterclass. Over an hour, I went in on how to position yourself, ladies, for a true alpha male. And again, that masterclass is absolutely free, but it won't be up for long. Holla at your lady. I'll be good. Peace.